morning, everybody. As you can probably see behind me, I'm getting the Supra ready as we are going on a little road trip. Quite excited about this one. I've taken the Supra abroad once. We've been to Paris once before, which was good fun. Although the aircon wasn't working and it was like 34, 35 degrees heat, which was pretty tough. But this time the weather's looking a little bit more bearable. Now, last time I obviously didn't film, so I've no idea how this one's going to go, how much of a video I'm going to make here, but I'm just going to get some clips along the way. Ria, my girlfriend's going to help me with doing some filming as well. So hopefully I've got something for you guys to watch. But the plan is we're going to drive to Luxembourg tonight for dinner. Reason I'm going to Luxembourg is because I like to tick off countries that I've not been to before. Luxembourg is one of those. So we're going to drive to Luxembourg literally just to have food, have a little wander around the town. And then after that, we're going to carry on to Strasbourg, which looks absolutely stunning from what I've seen in pictures. Never been there myself. I know there's issues with like emissions and things, so I'm just going to wing it and hope that we're all right. If not, I'll pay the fine. And we're going to stay a night in Strasbourg and then carry on to Grindelwald in Switzerland. I love Switzerland. I've been there a couple of times, I think, when I was younger, but quite a long time ago. And all the pictures and everything I see, I just always want to go back, have a little drive around, explore. So we're going to head to Grindelwald, stay a couple of nights there, do a couple of little trips out and about, see Lauterbrunnen, place with like amazing waterfalls and stuff. So yeah, just thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. So we're on the Eurotunnel. One thing I've got to do now is the headlight deflectors, as they're obviously right-hand drive, and we're going to a left-hand drive country, and also the UK sticker. So I've got to mess up the image of my car. I actually have no idea how these go on as well, so I'm going to have to read the instructions. So for these, there are instructions for hundreds of cars. We were looking at Toyota Supra. They only have the 2020 version, so I don't know, I'll have to wing it. Alright, so after trying to wing it, I can't figure out where they go. They've got a description very specifically of where to put them, and you're meant to check with a local garage about like where your headlights need like to cut off part of the light. I don't know where that would be for this, so I'm just going to leave it. Don't tell the French authorities. To be honest, one of the headlights has now stopped working again, so I need to fiddle around with the wiring when we get to Calais and see why that is anyway. So I'm not going to be blinding anyone if one of the headlights isn't working anyway. We're in France. So we've made it to France. We obviously get off in Calais. First stop is for lunch somewhere. I have no idea where we're going to go for lunch, but we'll just find somewhere along the way. It is now 1:15, and then it's saying it's going to take 4 hours 23 minutes to drive to Luxembourg. There, Bumpy. Nice little yelp from behind the camera as well. So we'll probably arrive in the evening, stop there for dinner, and then on to Strasbourg afterwards. So you can probably see and also feel through the vibration in the camera, it's taken us completely off the beaten track. We are in Belgium. We are on the way to Luxembourg. We were on the motorway saying it would be 150 kilometers, I think it was, to Luxembourg. But yeah, it's just taken us off the beaten path a little bit. And as you can see, out this way, it's actually quite pretty. Although it's a single track road, and yeah, it's not one way. There are cars that can come the other way. I think it's all down to traffic, some sort of roadworks going on. But it's good to see a bit of the countryside. Oh, nice little Belgian village coming up. Where are we? Andoy Vierde. I'm sure that's how they pronounce it. Oh, about speed bump. Right. Yeah, one thing about this car, which I have pointed out in a previous video, is that the aircon doesn't work, which is quite tough. It just happens to be that today, the one day that is our full driving day, it's like 26 degrees or something like that. 26 degrees Celsius, which for any Americans watching doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot for us Northern Europeans. And yeah, with no air conditioning, we're having to have the windows open and kind of cup the air towards us just to cool down a little bit. We made it through Belgium. The roads actually in Belgium are not great at all. I thought they'd be a bit better in terms of the actual texture. It's obviously just motorways, but and obviously that interesting detour as well. So that €109, 65 litres gone in. I'll try and keep a running tally of how many litres we've used throughout the trip. I kind of want to keep an idea of what miles per gallon it's doing. Yeah, I did a running tally of the miles per gallon when we were in Wales. It wasn't running quite right there, and that was pretty poor, the miles per gallon. So we'll see what it comes out with on this trip. And this is Luxembourg city centre driving. Cutting edge journalism. I'm just going to park up. We'll wander around a little bit, have some dinner, and then be back on the road.
It's all dust tight.
The perfect parking spot with no one either side. Alright, so first port of call before we leave Luxembourg, we've just had dinner. Had a Mexican in Luxembourg. Let's try and fix his headlight. So this is the main headlight bulb. So if you press in on the wires, you can get the bulb working. It's just randomly temperamental. I don't quite know how to get it going and stay working. So some more electrical tape, try and figure it out. So I've just put a load of electrical tape on there to just try and hopefully make it so that it doesn't move. It's currently working. Hopefully it stays that way. I think French police probably won't be too happy if I don't have beam deflectors and also the actual headlight itself isn't working. So I might get a little telling off. But anyway, let's hope that stays. Let's continue on to Strasbourg.
Oh my god.
That is horrendous. So that's our stay in Strasbourg done. It's a lovely city or town, whatever it's called. We only actually spent, I think it worked out about 14 hours here. Really nice place. I was slightly terrified driving in, to be honest. We didn't really capture any footage of it, but it just generally felt like we shouldn't have been driving where we were, whether that's a sat-nav thing or whether that's just they intentionally make it uninviting to drive. We actually stayed at the hotel, which is just there. It was the Hotel Hanong. It was really nice. Definitely consider going back there, and if you are going to be going to Strasbourg, I can recommend it. I've got a bike there trying to overtake me. Yeah, generally driving around this town is not particularly inviting. And you're also meant to have all sorts of things like crit air stickers and things for emissions. I've no idea what that means for this car. It almost certainly wouldn't pass any emissions, so I half expect to see a little bill come through the post at some point in the future, but we'll worry about that if and when it happens. Next step is a 3-hour, 38-minute drive to Grindelwald in Switzerland. That'll be obviously up in the mountains in the Alps, so we'll try and get a few shots on the way there, and yeah, we'll pick up with you a little bit later on. So I found it quite difficult actually. The speedo in this car is in miles per hour. It's been converted, I guess, originally from kilometers per hour. So it's reading in miles per hour. The odometer, the trip meter, is saying kilometers, but it's ticking up in miles. And then I'm having to use the Google Maps, which tells me what speed I'm doing in kilometers, to make sure that I'm doing the correct kilometers per hour. That has sometimes been incorrect as to what the actual speed limit is on the road. Yeah, so it's a little bit of guesswork trying to work out what speed I should be doing, what speed I am actually doing. Yeah, but be on your toes a little bit when you're driving abroad. Okay, I'm having a nightmare with this. So I tried tapping my card, which apparently you can't do. And now it says pay at the cash desk. I've just been to pay like a pre-authorized €80. Even though I probably won't put that much in, but I think it's just like a pre-authorization. I've done that, and now it's still not working. So I'm going to have to go back in and work out why it's not working. Apparently I took too long. But it's still not working. Come on. Alright. So apparently I took too long to get from there to here. So it cancelled the thing. I tried putting my card in, but because I pre-authorised €80 in there, I then didn't have enough money in that account, my travel money account. So I had to add more money into my travel money account. And then now I can get fuel. What a mess. And then now, bless them, these two cars behind are waiting. So exactly what I was saying as we were leaving Strasbourg, I have no idea what the speed limits are because I'm relying on Google Maps to tell me, and the road signs are terrible. I was doing 110 kilometers an hour, which I think is the limit, as far as I could tell, even though on Google Maps it says 130 right now. I just got flashed by a speed camera, so I don't know what speed I was meant to be doing. So we'll find that one out. Another thing as well, this little badge up here, I had to buy that in the ill-fated petrol stop that's just happened. You need that to drive in Switzerland. It's like a tax disc kind of thing, I guess. just a way for them to make more money. So yeah, that was 44 euros or something. So yeah, it's expensive to drive in Europe. So I think we're coming up to the Swiss border now. Kind of looks like it. Yeah, I think we're in Switzerland now. I've no idea. I don't know what the speed limit is either. It's no worse telling me what the speed limit is. But he's going quicker, I'll follow him. That didn't look very good. The views are absolutely stunning when you get into the Alps. I mean, they have been the whole way through Switzerland, but yeah, nothing quite like that, is it? There we are, all parked up at the Bergveld Hotel in Grindelwald. Alright, so this is the view from the hotel room in Grindelwald. It's kind of ridiculous. We have a corner balcony as well. Look at that. Like in between that valley there, you might just be able to see a waterfall. It's like something out of Disney. So we just had a really nice stay at the Bergveld Hotel in Grindelwald. It's not cheap, but it was definitely worth the money. It was an unbelievable view from the hotel balcony, as you've probably seen, and just the room itself was nice. All the minibar and stuff is free, which is always a big bonus. Had an outdoor hot tub area, which was really nice, so you could just sit outside and have a look at all the mountain views. So yeah, I can definitely recommend that one. So we're on our way now to Lauterbrunnen, which is like a little valley in the Alps, which has got 72 waterfalls. I've been reliably informed from my esteemed girlfriend behind the camera. Yeah, so that should be some more stunning scenery. So we'll go there, have a little look around, and then we're actually back to Grindelwald again this evening to stay at a different hotel. This one's the Hotel Spinne. My pronunciation is probably terrible, so apologies to any German-speaking, that bus was very close, German-speaking viewers. The Hotel Spinne is another outdoor pool. This one you can swim out and you have a full panoramic view of the mountains. So anyway, off to Lauterbrunnen now, and yeah, I'll get some shots there. Doesn't look like a real place, this. The waterfall in the background, Swiss like chalet looking places in the foreground. Wow. Right, so from Lauterbrunnen, we just drove up the road to a little cable car that took us up to a place called Murren, which is a lovely like alpine village resort kind of area. There's quite a few places to stay in Murren. We were looking at it, but just you have to get a cable car up and down to sort of base camp. So we decided against it. But we've stopped at the Hotel Edelweiss for lunch, which was really nice. Best part about it is the view. So I'll just turn the camera around. And I know I've talked so much about the views, but just look at this place. I mean, what a view that is for just having lunch. You see down there how high up we are. And all down the valley is just several waterfalls and everything gathering in the bottom. It's honestly, it's just another world, this place. Good morning from rainy Grindelwald. We knew this day was going to come. The weather forecast was not looking good throughout most of the trip, to be honest. Yesterday we actually got really lucky. It did rain a little bit, but not really enough to sort of dampen our spirits, as it were. But today is pretty bad, borderline biblical. It's been raining non-stop all morning, and I think it's due to rain for the rest of the day. But not to worry, today is the day that we actually head back anyway. We still haven't decided where we're going to be staying tonight. Kind of a little bit of an adventure. So we're just going to start driving back. We'll stop somewhere for lunch on the way, I'm not really sure where yet. And then we'll stop, obviously, somewhere for a hotel. But anyway, we're just going to have a little wander around now, and you'll join us back in the car on the way back. So in terms of tonight's hotel, we still don't know where we're staying yet. It's saying it's going to take a further, I think it was 8 hours, 57 minutes from Grindelwald. We're now at 8 hours, 14 minutes, which is 844 kilometres. That's to get to Calais. So we're just going to carry on driving. We'll stop for lunch in, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. And then, I don't know, make a little decision, see how I'm feeling in terms of driving, get as far as we can before we have to stop. The crossing is booked tomorrow at 1 p.m, so we just need to make sure we stay somewhere that's an achievable drive tomorrow morning so that we can get there in time. We've just recently left Switzerland. We're crossing to the French border. I think I got flashed by yet another speed camera in Switzerland. I've no idea why, because I was doing whatever the speed limit said on the road, and all the cars behind me, were also doing the same speed. So I don't really know whether that was like a mistake, like the camera glitched or whatever. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it was on a road that said the speed limit was, I think it'd gone from being 100 kilometers an hour to back up to the sort of national speed limit, which is 120. And I think I was still doing 100 kilometers an hour, and then it flashed me. So I have no idea why that was. But anyway, yeah, another thing to wait and see if anything arrives on the doorstep. Sorry, I've got a little sweet in my mouth, so you have to ignore me talking a bit weird. But we stopped in a little village called, what's the village called? I don't know. I'll put it up at the bottom or something. I can't remember what it's called. Begins with a P. Very nice little village, actually. Surrounded by like nice little hills and that. So we just stopped here briefly for a little panini and a little lunch. Very nice little town. Wish we could see a little bit more of it, we don't have a huge amount of time because we want to head off now. We're going to stay in, oh, I've just forgotten this. Okay, I've just been reliably informed. It's Chalon de Champon, down Champagne, I don't know, in the Champagne region, somewhere near Reims, for all of us Brits. This has turned out to not be a very good link, really, has it? Because none of my French is very good. I learned German and Italian in school. I never learned French, so that's why I can't do any of the pronouncing. I'm about to die as well. Okay. French drivers are pretty crazy. Anyway, we're going to move on to this champagne-y place and stay at a hotel there. And that's about 3 hours away from Calais. So it should be a fairly pleasant drive in the morning to get our 1 o'clock Eurotunnel.
That lady doesn't know her bum's going to be on YouTube.
It's nice to be able to park just in like a town centre kind of thing. It's hard anywhere in the UK to do that now. But this place just has a little parking spot just in the middle of the town. Free parking after 2 PM, so you can take that. This way. I like these little quaint French towns. Although I will say it was quite hard to find somewhere actually open at 3 PM or whenever we were looking to eat, because everywhere just closes down in the afternoon, a bit like being in rural Wales or whatever. Quick little fuel stop again. Hopefully this one comes off a little bit smoother than the last one. So it's quite expensive there. We're on the motorway. Not really much choice, unfortunately. 182. Yeah, 182 euros a litre, which is like, I don't know, like 160 something in the Great British pounds. It's quite expensive. So we put in another 57 litres, which is 105 euros. I honestly have to put in the Supra unleaded here. So 98 octane, because that's ethanol 5, and this obviously hasn't been converted to run on ethanol 10, or the fuel lines are probably a bit too old to run on that, so it does need the lower ethanol content. That's why the fuel is a bit more expensive. But yeah. But the Evo is the same anyway, it would have to run on the same octane, so. Onwards. So, we've just ticked over 1,000 miles on the journey so far. We've still got another few hundred miles, I think, until Calais, and then obviously a little bit further then to get home the other side. But so far the car's doing well. There's plenty of time for it to break down still, but I think it's been a little tripper. Nice little cathedral here. It's a bit like the Notre Dame, huh? We're just driving through Chalon de Champagne. Again, apologies if that is not how you pronounce it. Just getting a little feel for the city centre as we look for our hotel. Our hotel's actually in the outskirts and not quite in the centre. It's just always a bit of a faff to find parking and things, so and you have to pay for it. But the hotel actually that we got, whilst it doesn't look anything special, I think it's like basically a motel. It cost us £58 for the night, so not to be sniffed at. The Hotel Montreal actually looks fairly North American rather than French. So this is the Hotel Montreal. No idea how good this is going to be, but it's only fairly cheap for the evening. So I'm going to go get all the stuff in and then pick up with you guys tomorrow morning on the way to Calais. Why have I said it like Calais? I'm not even like trying. Anyway, I'll leave that in the video. Calais, here we go. Alright, so we are nearly at the Eurotunnel. You can probably tell because it's started slightly raining outside and the weather's gone really grey, so that's how you know you're near England. Apparently the weather's not been great in England over the past few days. Yeah, journey was 3 hours long. It was pretty much one road almost the entire way from Chalon de Champagne. I think that's incredible French. Fluent now, basically. Yeah, so obviously hop over the Eurotunnel and then a little bit of a drive back to the house from there, and then I will fill up when I get back to Surrey, and then let you know. I'll do a little wrap-up video when we get back of how much fuel I've used, how much the tolls were, how much everything cost, not including the potential fines that may be coming through the post at a later date. I made a boo-boo. Ah. That is really annoying. Really annoyed about that. Getting onto the Channel Tunnel, as you can probably tell, we're on the train now. We're going on the upstairs bit, and as I came up to the top of the upstairs bit, it's obviously a bit that like juts out. I don't know, caught it with the wheel and done some really annoying damage to it. So I'm gonna have to get that sorted out at some point. Proper made a meal of that as well. Alright, so that's it. After 1,368.8 miles to be exact, we are home. We've managed to go through 5 countries, so that's including the UK, so UK, France, Belgium, Luxembourg and Switzerland. Yeah, done, as I said, over 1,000 miles and had very, very, very little issues. The headlight still seemed to be a little bit temperamental even after taping it a couple of times. I just need a new bulb holder for that. I need to snip the wires, wire in a new bulb holder, and then that should be all good. It's just a little bit where the connection is with the bulb holder, it just seems to be a little bit loose. So I'll sort that out. Obviously really, really, really annoyed about the wheel. Yeah, me just being, I guess, a little too lax on that left-hand side after going the whole way through left-hand drive central. Yeah, annoyingly, when you actually get onto the Channel Tunnel is where I go and curb that left-hand wheel. But anyway, that's annoying, but I'll get that sorted. And yeah, there was basically no other problems with the car bar the lack of aircon, which was occasionally annoying. Meant that it was a bit of a loud journey, obviously with having to have the windows open a lot, but the car itself just performed faultlessly. It doesn't seem to have lost any oil. Fluid levels are all still great. They were before I left as well. I kept fluids in the car just in case. But yeah, no issues at all with that. It's actually genuinely a comfortable ride. Like surprisingly so. I know I've had the car for 10 years or whatever, but I've never really done that amount of miles in it all in one go. Like yesterday, for example, I drove like 6 hours or maybe more in the car in total. And not at any point did I feel like my back was hurting or my neck was hurting, anything like that. I wasn't even bored of driving the car, really. I found today was a little bit more of a struggle with the scenery just being a little bit more drab in, mid to northern France, a little bit like the UK, I guess. And also driving at night, I think, just gets a little bit boring because there's not a huge amount to look at. So I have written down a few numbers if anyone's interested to know. So this will be, how much was spent in general, how much was spent on fuel, miles per gallon, etc. So I filled up 5 times and in total spent £367.41. Forgive me for looking down, I'm just looking at my phone. £367.41 in fuel, which was 241.96 litres. That works out an average miles per gallon of 25.7, which I don't think is too bad actually, considering it's a big 3-litre, 30-year-old car on bigger injectors, individual throttle bodies, and doing mostly French speed limits, which was 130 kilometers an hour, which is around 84, 83 mile an hour on my speedo anyway. So I don't think that's too bad at all, really. Actually surprised it was like that. We spent a further £66.36 in tolls. There was the Swiss tax disc thing, which was £38.19. And then it was around £300 for the Channel Tunnel. A bit more expensive than normal because it's the end of the school holidays, so I think it just bumps up the price a little bit. It was bank holiday as well when we left. So in total, the sort of travel, not including hotels and all that, was £771.96p. So probably more expensive than flying, but then equally you don't have a car when you're there, so you don't really get to enjoy where you're going quite as much, and we made the journey part of the holiday as well. So one last thing I do want to sort of say as well is thank you obviously to Ria. She's just upstairs putting the little man in bed now, but she came along to this holiday as our sort of 10-year anniversary thing, so that was why we were going. It was a special thing obviously, and I've made her do some filming along the way, which I'm sure was probably quite tedious for her. So obviously a big thank you to her. So any comments down below, would like a big thank you to Ria, spelled R-H-I-A, so I want to see some comments of that. And very finally, I'm just really hoping that I don't get any fines through because there was 2 speed cameras that flashed me, and also the low emission zone in Strasbourg, which I have no idea if that will catch me or whatever, but we'll see what happens. So hopefully in general this will inspire people to go drive around Europe. I can absolutely recommend it. It's a little nerve-wracking with speed limits and things. Hopefully if your car has a kilometers per hour gauge on the clocks, that would make life a little bit easier. I don't, which was really annoying, having to look at my phone for the speed in the middle of the center console. But it was an amazing trip. Some of the best scenery I've ever seen in my life. Switzerland is probably the most beautiful country in the world. I don't think there's much to contest that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't, then don't bother, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.